I have my watch business, so I have to do a deal over there.
Okay.
And, but yeah, I want to make some progress with this already.
Right, definitely. Yeah, man, I can jump right in. I just normally I just want to try to get like the keys to like kind of what you're doing and then show you the map of what I'm gonna build from here. Just so that way you're on board and you know what's going on and everything.
Sounds
Um,
good.
I'm gonna jump over here real quick. Um, so I was looking at your website. Is it? I don't know. You might not know this, but is it built on WordPress?
It is on WordPress, and I use Elementor.
Yeah. Did you make the website?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. So, um, I was watch. I'll just show you real quick. On your site here, I
Yes.
would, if you want, I can actually give you a form. I don't need access to the whole website itself. Everything here looks good actually, but like this button,
Uh-huh.
which should take you to the contact page. So that form and the other form on that first page, I can give you a new ones that you can plug in right there.
Okay.
And then whenever people submit the form, it'll actually come into my system. So I just mark that here, the website. If we update those forms, they can actually push in here.
Yes, that's not an issue for me, and you can change whatever you think is gonna work.
Okay, perfect. And then with your Google profile, I sent a request for you to approve, so that way I have access to the Google profile itself. And then we also might need to work on the LSA stuff, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit in a minute. Are you using any kind of CRM or like tools like Jobber or Service Titan or anything like that right now?
No, again, management repairs. Someone, let me just accept this right now, so I'm gonna forget for sure.
Okay.
Someone requested to become manager and as manager, Mr. Wicks will go into migrate. Sorry. Okay, done. That's approved already. Um, no, as I told you, I was using Clixio, or that stuff. And
Right, right.
they posted and they tried to move me to high level. But I didn't. I hired a local guy, and he was kind of doing it manually, but he didn't do anything. So yeah, I'm not using any CRM right now.
And okay, and so from my understanding, you get the you're only doing phone calls on LSA right now, right?
Phone calls and text. I do a lot of sales through text.
Okay. But it's always through the phone number, right? They contact you through phone. Okay.
Sometimes, I mean, they submit the form and I get the email.
Yeah, the messages.
Yes.
Right. Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure. But most of the time it's phone numbers, right?
Most of the time is phone call, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then they come in, phone call or text message to you. How do you know if a lead's like when you get those contacts, how do you know if they're qualified or not qualified? Do you have any like criteria? Or is it just like they answered or they didn't answer?
No, I mean, most of the time I get the calls. I don't, I mean, I was paying for the ads through Google, lead something. So with them, I mean, I just get the call and it just tells me like, You're getting a call from Google leads or whatever." And as soon as they tell me they need a floor or whatever, I ask them if they already know which system they want or they have any idea what epoxy is, stuff like that. And I get
Okay.
a good idea if they're already informed. If they're already informed about how much it costs, they know it's pricey.
Right.
So after that, I mean, I tell them like a ballpark or on the price. And if they're like, okay, no, yeah, let's do it, I just keep asking questions and try to close it on the phone. Sometimes they want me to go to the quote, to the estimate.
Right.
And I always tell them like this system will be around this price. Like it's gonna be from 2,000 to 3,000, depending on this and this and this. But for sure, I can schedule an estimate for today. I can be there, I don't know, in 4 hours, you know?
Right.
That way I don't waste my time like going and then they tell me like they were expecting a $500 floor and I mean I hate wasting time.
So as long as from what you were saying there, they call you, and as long as you know that they know the type of floor that they want, like the cost and the price range, they know those things, then you know that they're kind of qualified. You'll give them the ballpark, and then you really try to close them on the phone. But if you need to, you will book an on-site inspection, right?
Yes, correct. And I also have a binder where I explain like all the top coats, all the options, all the colors and everything. And
Right.
please send them that so they can be a little bit more informed. It had like a price per square foot and everything. I try to be really transparent in terms of pricing. And I'm not the kind of person who charges who sees a mansion and charges double, you know? I'm not like that. I mean the big
Right.
price.
Right. No, I totally understand. Um, do you feel like if you is some of the reason I'm trying to think of how to ask that. Um, yeah, no, it sounds like you're doing good, and then you're just you send them that booklet thing you said that you put together before, like, while you're on the phone with them.
Yeah, let me send. Can I send it here?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, where should I? Oh, right here. Just I don't know.
There's a little chat thing. Let me
Oh
see.
yeah, with everyone right here. It's gonna be this one. I mean, it's not great, but it works. Epoxy flooring estimate. Pretty sure it's this one.
Okay.
It disconnected me from. Yeah.
Watch. Let me see. You should be able to click on that message, maybe.
On the message, I tried to, but as soon as I as soon as I dropped the file, it got me out of the screen.
Oh, yeah, you might want to send it if it's an actual file, you might want to send it to like Facebook or something like that. You usually, I think in Google Meet, it wants it to be like a link.
Mhm.
So if you're sending an actual file, it doesn't look like it'll let files send.
Okay, let me send it through Facebook.
And I do want to ask, what all services are you offering with the epoxy? Are you doing, or do you do polishing and quartz, metallics, flakes, and all of that, or
Yes, yes.
okay,
Um, yeah, we can use any top coat. Uh, I mean, if I have to, we have to. I've been trying to get into the urethane cement,
right,
but that's the only thing we are not currently doing. We're doing staining. We're doing single color flakes like full broadcast, medium broadcast, light broadcast, metallics. I actually do the metallic designs myself.
okay,
Um, and we think, well, I've been getting good at it. I mean, I don't think we have com competition here in El Paso in terms of the quality of the design.
right.
Like, I
That's
mean,
really good.
yeah, I don't know if you've seen them already.
I don't know if I've seen. If it was, I think it would have been on your website.
And the thing is that I mean, yeah, on my website, I think you can go to gallery.
Yeah, yeah, I think I remember seeing some. Let me see. Oh yeah, the purple and white and gray one. I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, these are good. Um, okay, perfect. Do you do any polishing or anything like that too, or no?
Yeah, yeah, we do polishing. We can do any grade, any any aggregate, any sealer too, depending on many. The thing is that what I've learned of this business is that people don't care about what material you use, what grid you use, what do you do. They just want to look good, you know?
Right, right, definitely. Do
It's just
you
a problem solution, not about selling the best system.
right. They just want their problem fixed. Yeah. Um with Flake, what's the price range that you offer? Like what's the absolute lowest that you'll, when you're giving those ballpark ranges, what's the ballpark on the Flake for
That
you?
the cheapest I can do it's gonna be $5 on using epoxy flakes and epoxy on top, which I always tell to people that I don't recommend because epoxy goes yellowish after time.
Right,
If you have the clear one on top of the flakes, you're gonna notice it going yellow in, I don't know, 6 months, a year.
right,
And
right,
I always tell them the same thing. I mean, it's better to do $1 extra, but it costs me even more than $1 for me to put the polyaspartic.
right.
So I spend even more than the dollar they pay. So I always tell them like it's better if you do polyaspartic. Um, but
Would
the
you
the cheapest I can do it's gonna be $6, but I always live for 7.
but you always at least try to hit, so like between 5 and 7?
Um, for flakes, yes.
Okay. And then yeah, what about metallics? I know that's a lot different there.
Metallics, okay. Metallics, I always sell it myself. I have salespeople, and I always tell them not to sell it below 950, $10 per square foot. But I sell it myself at 850.
Okay.
But I want to be 9, to be honest. I want to stay at 9 because I mean you make any mistake and you have to redo it, and I always lose a lot of money on so I have to have some caution right there.
Okay. How high will you go on metallics? Like, what do you try to charge on the high end?
High end, the highest we were doing $12 per square foot because Don Resin told us that that has to be the a market price or the uh let's say market fixed price on that type of service.
Right.
You know who Don Resin is, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to his class in Miami and stuff like that, and he was like, "No, never sell it for less, and don't be the cheap people who can do it cheaper and stuff like that."
Yeah.
Uh, the thing is that I mean, most of his projects he don't even charge. Like he's just doing the classes and stuff like that, but he don't charge for the project. He just charges for the product, for the material,
Mhm.
and he uses it for marketing, and which works for him. But I mean, it's not that easy to sell it for $12 per square foot on metallic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just so you know, I have some guys that sell them for like $20 per square foot.
Oh shit! Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
That's so I tried already a lot, and
Yeah. We just There's a lot that goes into the sale, man. Some of it is what we're setting up here, like how fast you respond to your lead. If it takes you like 2 3 hours, or if it takes you a couple days, like you can't charge $20 per square foot. You have to.
fast. I'm fast with that. I have to. I try to stay below 15 minutes. I always try to respond within 5 minutes.
That's good. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot that goes into it, man. It just is what I'm saying is like you got to have the whole package to be able to do that. Because if a customer sees and they're like, oh, like I can't. Part of what Don Resin is telling you is that like when you're the cheapest person, the customers, they don't want, like you said, they want a solution, but they know if they get the cheapest thing, then it's not going to be the best thing, and they're probably going to have to redo it. Like people understand these things, so like even your price. even your price itself kind of justifies, okay, how do I say that? Like a Lamborghini. Like if you saw a Lamborghini for sale for $5,000, you'd be like, what's wrong with it? Right?
Yeah, the problem is right here. I know what you mean, and yeah, maybe the thing is about the city, about the people here, because there is this guy Jake Epoxy.
Mm-hmm.
He's charging like $5.50 for metallics. So, and he's pretty at it.
That one, that one's really, really easy to beat, man. Like how is that guy charging? You just have to tell the customers that kind of stuff. And that's what I think me and you are going to end up finding and getting to the bottom of, is more of like the sales stuff, because that's what I'm saying instantly. How is my guy selling floors for $20 per square foot and that guy selling them for 5? That's a big question. And a lot, the other thing is that these customers don't know anything about it. So when they see $20 per square foot, like, one, that's what I'm saying. Like, instantly somebody seeing that, they're going to be like, well, why is that one 20? Not like, when you're like $7 per square foot and that guy's doing it for 5, they're going to be like, well, like, why are you 7? He's 5. I don't get it. So your price alone, that's what I was mentioning. But that's the same thing. I'm always talking to these guys about flakes. It's like when you do flake jobs, if you're trying to charge $7 or $8 per square foot and you're getting quotes that are for $5, it's the same thing. It's like, hey, customer, what do you think that guy's doing? Especially with, that's what I'm saying. It's even worse with metallics. It's like, I know myself, I'm not an installer, but I work with like 10 or 12 epoxy guys, right? And so I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 years now. So I know a lot about it, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can't really pour a good quality floor for $5 per square foot. There's like no way for you to, especially the way that Don teaches how to do it. There's no way. It's too much material, right? Am I wrong?
Okay. The thing is that they're kind of how do you call it when you do? I mean, like cheat
Yeah,
code.
that's what I'm saying. They're using cheap product, or they're pouring the floor super thin.
No,
What does Don tell you to do? 25 per square foot, 25 gallons per square foot, or is it 35?
uh, when he did the floor with us, he did like, I think it was like, I want to say like 80 square feet per kid.
Right. But
Wait,
and that's what I'm saying. I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but you can tell me that guy Jake, he's probably not pouring the floor that thick, right?
yeah, but we use acetone too, because when it gets too hot, I know resin says you shouldn't, but I mean it's different everywhere, and you use the correct material. If you don't use the acetone to make it cheaper for you, just easier to install, it works. But if you try to dilute it to get more product, yeah, it's gonna look really bad, you know. But I mean,
That's what he's doing, right?
that he's doing that, and he doesn't have the stuff we have. We have the industrial machines, the polish, the big lavinas and everything, right? So
Right.
so we have all the equipment. He doesn't, and he's good making. I've seen it because I hired him a couple of times. I don't want to work with him anymore because he's always late. He 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 goes cheap on everything. I mean, if he sees a detail, oh okay, they're not gonna notice it, stuff like that, you know. And
Right.
he doesn't do a good preparation on the concrete. That's for sure, because he doesn't have the tools or anything, and he's good at making a couple $100 per job, which is crazy. I mean, but
That's what I'm saying, dude. So everything that you're telling me is that he's, and you have to figure out, you have to find a way to do it professionally. And like, you don't want to be like, oh, like that guy, Jake, he doesn't have equipment. But when you tell the customers, that's why you're charging $9 per square foot versus the 5, or that's why you're charging 12, is because, you see what I'm saying? It's like, you just told me everything that makes you different than Jake. So you have to tell the customers that too. It's like, hey, you're going to get a thin floor he doesn't have, and again, you don't want to say he, but you're like, my competitors don't usually have, I've got way better equipment than what I see out there. I'm going to come and do the floor right. I'm going to pour it thick enough to where it doesn't peel up later. And that's why I charge $12. Sometimes guys do other stuff. They hire out installers to do, so they can charge cheaper. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you just usually have to tell the customers, like, do you want a guy that's okay making a couple $100, like doing your floor, and who's going to skimp and cut out a lot of steps and not use the best equipment? Or do you want to pay a couple extra bucks, get the best equipment in here, and have the best job that you can get, And it's like, dude, if somebody explained that to me, I'd be like, dude, I'll pay you right now. I don't want to pay the cheapest price. You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, completely. But I mean, it's crazy how it happens here that many people are like, oh, I don't even care how it looks. I mean, I just want it to be done and be cheap. And I'm like, oh,
Wow. And so that might be a flake. It's like, okay, you might want my flakes then. Metallics are not that's not the metallics. Metallics are a luxury product. So, you see what I mean? It's like sometimes those customers just aren't your customer at that point. If that's what I would say. For some of my guys, I like that you do a lot of stuff. That's why I ask. But I have a guy that got trained by Don, and all he does is metallics, and it's rough because a lot of people come in and they're like that too. They're like, well, I don't really want to spend $20 per square foot. He's like, oh, well, I can't do anything with you though, because he doesn't do flake. And so
we have systems from no, I think the cheapest, we have is gonna be like 350 per square foot, which is just gonna be the preparation and just a coat of single color.
okay.
But I have options because there's many businesses that just need a quick fix for the concrete. And
Yeah, let me ask you that. Whenever you're getting these calls from Google, what are they usually calling for, flakes, or are they calling for metallics? Which I would assume it's not metallics.
uh everything, it's crazy, but I often don't get the same call for the same system in a while. Like I often
Okay.
call from for different stuff. The cheapest yeah, it's gonna be 350, just the epoxy, just a coat of epoxy and the
Okay.
application. And you can see on my gallery, on the second picture of the gallery, I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, yeah, I saw those. I saw the gallery. It does look good. Whenever you I guess I would ask, whenever you go to the on-site inspections, if you do go to those, are
Yeah.
you sending an estimate to them, or are you just giving them a number over, like, in person? You're just telling them like, oh, it'll be 3,000 for this, or
Um, I have my binder with me too, the same one that I sent to them.
uh-huh.
I just explain everything. I explain the process. I explain how much material we use, why it's better, and I mean everything. And then I just take I do the measurements on the floor, and I just give them a number right there. Like, okay, you're looking at, it's gonna be 400 square feet, and it's gonna be $5 per square foot. Yeah, it'll be 2,000. And most of the time they're like, okay, yeah, when can you start? Or the typical like, oh, I want to talk to my husband first or my wife.
Yeah, definitely. If you give them that number and they're ready to move forward, like they're like, oh, okay, that sounds good. What do you normally do next? What happens after that?
I just schedule it right there, and I send them a contract a little bit after, maybe the same day, maybe the next one, where I think like the no, it's not a no show fee. Like if there's no one in home when the installers get there, we charge like $50, which is nothing, because they make us move everything and then like, oh no, sorry, I forgot. And so we always confirm with the client that morning.
Okay.
Yeah, we go for what is for sure.
So you send a contract. When do you? So yeah, you gave the number at the property. You schedule the job with the with the lead, and then you send them a contract. And then you were saying just there that when do you collect payment from them?
Oh, my guys collect payment from them when they get to the project.
Okay.
We accept everything. We accept like if they want to do cash app or sell or
So no, you don't take any deposits before you start the job or anything?
yes, we do 50%, but it's always on the contract. And yeah, we haven't had any issues with that. I mean, we just ask 50% before we start and 50 after.
Okay, 50 after. And then you said that you have like the guys doing the job collect the second part of the payment?
Uh, Mostly it's gonna be my guy, the guy I told you that's been working with me like 10 years, over 10 years. So I mean, he's in charge of that, of getting the money.
What is it okay if I know his name?
Yeah, Martel. Oh yeah, and you're gonna work with him for sure.
You said Martin?
No, we call him Marty, but it's Martel.
Martel. Okay. um, do you want me to have his phone number? Because the reason I was actually asking that is if he's the guy that's collecting that payment, what I can do, and this is part of what I'm building out here for you right now. Martel collects payment, and then what I can do is I can actually send a text message to Martel and say, it's actually an email. And I'll email him and say, hey, Martel, like I know you're closing up that job. Um, what I'll ask him how the job went. Like, was it a good job? And he'll say yes or no. And then if he says yes, I'll ask him if he thinks that we should automate a review to the Google. If he's so I'll say, hey Martel, how was the job? And he'll say, oh, it was a good job. I'm like, do you think that the client's happy? And he'd say yes. I'm like, do you want me to send should we send a review? So that way Martel can kind of control, like, he'll be like, I don't know, there was some weird stuff on the job, let's not ask for a review. Or yeah, it was a great job, just send it through. And my system will send the review, but he just needs to answer that. But that's what I'm saying. Like if he's the one there at the job and he knows, I can just ask him instead of asking you,
Be the guy for sure. I just send you his number, and but what you were saying, I mean, if you can even ask. I mean, if there's something wrong or the client is not happy, we always fix it. So
Yeah, if he says something is wrong in that survey, I ask him what, and then I send that to the owner, to you. So just so you know.
yeah,
What were you is it
they have to be happy, and I always tell them. I mean, it's not even about the money. I mean, we have to use more product, or unless the client is trying to take advantage, because
right.
some people do. They're like, "Oh, you already put a good code, but can you put more?" And of course we can, right? But it's gonna be an extra charge because the system it's already the way it's supposed to be. But I mean, if we don't, we're not the kind of company who's like, oh no, we need 2 poly kits and that's it. If we need to use 3, we use 3 or even 4. If the weather makes us use 4, and I don't make anything on that job, I don't even care. It's all about reputation, not about the money.
Right, exactly. The reputation's everything, man.
Mm.
Wait, are you the one that's doing the scheduling the contracts and the first deposit invoicing?
Most of the time, yes.
Okay. Okay. And then let's say that you're getting these leads in, right? This obviously is like the steps, they're a good lead if they know information about the floor first. I've got your pricing here and your process from like the lead calling in all the way to Martel finishing up the job. And then, obviously in that we were talking about it, we'll upgrade it to where you're getting the reviews. And when you get those reviews, your SEO goes up and that'll get you more phone calls and stuff. And so it creates a whole system here. But I did want to ask about one thing here. Like once you've given a number, if the person's not ready to move forward, I wanted to ask about that. And then also here in the not qualified, obviously If there's no answer, that's not a good lead, if you can't get a hold of them. But like you said here, if they know the price and stuff, that's usually a better lead. I assume that if they're not sure of their options, that's the opposite of that. So if you get somebody that's, not really moving forward, how many times would you say that you're following up on these people before you just kind of like move on?
I'm very bad at that. I mean, I try to put someone to do that, to do the follow-ups and everything. But I don't do follow-ups.
Okay, and even when you've even if you've gone and like given them a price over the phone or in person, you still are maybe not following up too good on those either.
No.
Okay, I'll follow up. Okay, we'll definitely fix that on both sides for you. That's what my system does. Um, Let me make sure.
No, yeah, I'm missing a lot of business right there. But to be honest, I mean that creates like a little bit of stress within me. Like I feel like begging, you know? And
Yeah.
I don't like to do that. That's why I put someone to do it, but he didn't do a good job.
Yeah, that there's a lot. That's super common when I talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And I would just let you know, I have a mentor that helps me with like my business stuff that I meet with, and I was on a meeting with him recently, and he was talking about that, and he was like asking, my peers and stuff. He's like, hey, like who hates follow up? And I told him, I'm like, dude, me in my life, I have like 10 plus clients that I work with in a week. I also have I just hired a virtual assistant that I'm working with. So now I'm starting to manage another guy. I also have like my own life and my relationships and stuff, And I'm like, dude, if people don't follow up with me, there's a huge chance that I'm gonna like forget about it. I just can't keep track of every single thing in my life, especially if it's somebody that wants me to buy something from them. I'm like, dude, I'm freaking busy. So I personally I appreciate follow up. Like I'm like, dude, and like, yeah, to be fair, if somebody's following up with me on something I don't want, I'm going to be like, I will say, hey, I'm ready. But most people will too. They're not going to kind of like keep leading you on to keep letting you follow up. So just one thing is like, it's super common I talk to so many guys and you guys are like, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to sound like I'm begging for money. One, like some people aren't that way, like customers aren't always that way. And you have to think about the fact that you're dealing with homeowners most of the time too. So they're like, they have good jobs, they're super busy. They probably have families, like they're busy people. So, but like, it doesn't change the fact that you still feel how you feel. So then, like you said, you're like, well, I'll hire somebody to do it. Well, the problem with that is that they might not do it, like you said. So it's really nice. And then I'll tell you too, is that like, because of that, and with the follow up, like I've crafted when I plug this stuff in, I make it really smooth. Where I'm like, hey, I saw you requested a quote. Is there anything that's holding you back? Like we can go over those numbers if you want. Nothing pushy, nothing crazy. And I'll just let you know, you'll see this stuff and you'll start to kind of understand. But a lot of the times in the epoxy world, you guys are dealing with people who got other quotes that are cheaper, like you were saying, like that Jake guy. So what I do is instantly, the first thing I ask is like, is there anything that you had questions about? And then I wait a couple days, and then my system does it no matter what, it'll follow up. But it'll ask, the second thing I ask them is just like, hey, I know a lot of people, if you're not moving forward by now, it's probably because you're looking at a couple of quotes, you're looking at some options. I tell the leads, I'm saying, hey, if you've got another quote, go ahead and send it over to us. It takes like 10 seconds and we can look it over with you. And just make sure. I'm like, I say stuff like, would you be mad if if we went over it and you found out that they were giving you the best deal, the best warranty, the best price? And like, I'm going to tell you to go work with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, so again, it's not like, hey, are you ready to buy from us yet? Hey, what's going on? hey, did you think about the quote? No, I'm saying like real stuff to them. Like, hey, send that quote. If you've got a cheaper quote, send it over and we'll look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more friendly and a lot more valuable to the leads rather than just like begging them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, are you ready to buy from us yet? You know what I mean?
No, no, I understand. I know there I'm losing a lot of business right there, but it's more of
A personal thing.
not even. I mean, sometimes when I don't have anything to do, I mean, I send some text to people that I was pretty sure they were interested in everything, and they just need that push, you know. And I know I can close those leads, but I'm always busy, and whenever I'm not busy, I try to have a good time, you know. So because I'm always busy, so I really disconnect whenever I party or whenever I go on vacation or anything. I try to really enjoy it, you know, like be present because yeah, I have too much stuff on my head. So yeah, that time I try to use it for that, but yeah, I don't like to. Sometimes it's not begging when you know you're gonna help when you had the like this connection with the client. I mean, you can just go from the friend side, like, hey, how you been? I remember your dog, or how's your daughter, or I don't know, whatever, you know.
Right.
But but yeah, it's more of a personal thing that I don't have the time, and then yeah, more with some people I feel like it's like, oh, I need your business, and which it'll help, but I don't need it.
Right, 1000%. Well, I mean, when we look at all of this, where do you feel like leads are going, like falling off most at? Like after you give them a number, once you send the contract, or is it more so these guys on the left side where you're losing the most leads?
Let me see on the left side.
It's that the left side is the people that like call and they're not sure of the option, or you're not able to, when you call them back they don't answer.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be on that side for sure. When I
Okay.
do get in contact with them, I have a good closing rate.
Okay, good, good, good. So with all of this whole process, like I said, the top is leads coming in, the phone call, and then the split right here is just a matter if they're a good lead or a bad lead. But in this whole process, all the way down to Martel getting the payment, and in the future getting the reviews, what part of this do you wish that you had the most support and automation in? Is it in the follow-ups and stuff where you're losing the leads?
Yeah, follow ups for sure.
Okay, definitely. So I've got pretty much everything that I need. I might need to ask you a couple more questions when we get off of the call. Did you see that I had sent you a link and it said that for me to be able to set up the system, I needed you to fill out that form?
Mm,
This was the form that I was telling you. It's just got a couple of questions in it, like your when the some people have their business like registered as something else, like it could be like a shell name, and then they're like doing business as. So I need whatever your business is registered as. I need that, and then your EIN number. Just this is so that way I can get the phone number set up in my system, so that way I can like transfer leads to you, or to communicate with people, text through high level. When you send those automations out, I need a phone number to be able to do that, so I have to register it to your business as well. So I just need you, if you can, get me this information, between all that information that I wrote down, and then the information that's in this form. Between all of that, I should be able to get your full account set up. And then yeah, I'm gonna try and get it set up. How long are you gonna be in Mexico for?
no, I should be back. Should be back tomorrow.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try my hardest to get your account set up by tomorrow or the next day. Because I like, just so you know, yeah, in the last, I think also part of what we had talked about is when me and you talked last, I hadn't hired anybody yet, and it used to be me that was doing all of the account setup, and I actually have hired somebody. So that tomorrow is going to be their first day, and I'm going to walk them through doing all of this. And So I'll probably get you set up super fast. And then, yeah, in the future, I'll actually be able to get people set up in like 1 or 2 days. Cause I think when we did talk, I was telling you, I'm like, yeah, man, sometimes it takes me like a week to go through the whole process because it's a lot of stuff. Plus, I got to do everything else, But yeah, from here, that would be my thing. Like I said, I'm going to try and get you up and running by tomorrow or the next day. And then I'll just stay in contact with you and let you know. No rush on that end. If I set you up super fast and you still need some time, just I'm really, like I said, dude, I'm really chill about stuff. I I don't necessarily like need I'm not trying to survive off of the money that you're paying me for stuff. So I'm not like uptight about all of that. You know what I mean? But so yeah, if you're like, hey bro, I know you're ready, but I need until Monday, you're good to go. Just communicate with me is the main thing. But yeah. Um so if you can fill out that form, I know you might need to grab some details and I ask if you've got like photos. It helps me set everything up and stuff like that. So it's easier if you fill out that form and then
or where's the form?
oh, let me see. It's this one is the
Okay. Got it first. Okay, because I send you the EIN on right here on the conversation.
okay. Oh, so and you do go by CL Elite Ventures?
Yeah, but the DBA it's gonna be Epoxy.
Okay, that's okay. It's exactly what I was talking about. If I try to get the phone number and I put epoxy in, the government's gonna turn me down. They'll say you can't have a phone number. So I just gotta. But that form is yeah. The form is just it keeps it all in one place for me too. But I don't mind staying on the phone with you while you do that if you have questions and stuff. So
Sorry.
We actually don't just work in El Paso, we work in cruises too. You missed.
okay.
So I mean I'm just gonna put El Paso, Texas, but so you and that's being snatched. We've been working a little bit farther, but I do charge an extra fee. But I mean we're willing to travel.
I'm sure Las Cruces probably needs it. I'm from Albuquerque. I live in Denver, but I'm from Albuquerque, and even out there, I haven't lived in Albuquerque in like 2 or 3 years now. But even out there, I don't know anybody. I don't know a lot of companies that are doing epoxy even out there. So
I have no idea, but Albuquerque is far from me.
yeah, I know it's just a little too far, huh? But bro, we're like you're like a straight line down, Denver, Albuquerque, El Paso, it's all like one line. So I could basically take what does I-40? You guys have I-40?
No, we have I-10.
10? Okay. Oh yeah, 25 I think is actually do you guys have I-25?
No, we have 370 and I-10. But the I-10 is the one that goes interstate. Like
Okay.
95, sorry. Support favors. Okay. We mostly work in El Paso, but we can do cruises. We can do like Ruidoso in Mexico. I mean, we can travel a little bit if needed, if it's worth it,
Right.
just so you know, main local. Albuquerque is kind of like El Paso, right?
It, it's a little wild. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been a really long time since I lived in El Paso, but I think I've lived there since I was like 18.
Yeah.
And same with Albuquerque. And El Paso's just way hotter.
Oh,
It's way more south. But I don't know, man. I think I like El Paso. I think I would like living in El Paso more than Albuquerque, personally.
I think so too.
Albuquerque's really I don't know how to say it, just rough, man. There's you know, like if you tried to go to the movie theater in Albuquerque,
Yeah.
you like if you even looked at somebody, they're gonna try to like, what are you looking at, dog? What do you like try to fight with you for looking at them, And they're like,
Like get it right, like
yeah, I didn't want to say ghetto, but yeah, bro, it's just ghetto as hell, and it's like there's a lot of gangs out there and stuff, and everybody's just like violent. And like, yeah, I live in Denver now, and it's like, I could like stare at somebody and they'd be like, can I help you? You know? Just funny.
Secondary real job.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
real job, do you need them, or you can get them from the gallery or from?
Yeah, both of those I leave as like you don't have to do because I can get them. The colors, I'm assuming that you're like blue and black.
Yeah, I don't have any specific. Or maybe I do. Let's see.
And I just let you know, some people are like, some people are franchises and they need certain colors and stuff. So sometimes it's a way bigger deal to some people, but if you're just like, yeah, blue and black, or like, just so that way if I make something for you, it's kind of, like not orange if you don't use orange.
Yeah. No, I use mostly like blue and the colors I have on my website. And I think the colors should be there, the codes.
Yeah.
When I use, I'm pretty sure I have the hex code. That's wait now. Yeah, I have to look for that, but you can see on the binder that I send you, the colors are gonna be there.
Okay. That's okay. I can gather some of this information as we go on. I know that after that, the color question, the only other question is just about like discounts or promos. Just so that way if you want me to use discounts, I can.
Yeah, I mean, if we use the correct prices, I normally, when I give discounts, if I give the cheapest, I cannot really do any discounts because, I mean, I don't have the margins. But if we do like, whenever I do the real prices, like $6 per square foot on flakes, 7 poly, 8 poly and poly, which nobody really needs, but some people who just want the expensive one.
Right.
So, but if we do $6, $7, $8, and we do on metallics 9 or 10 or 11 or whatever, I mean, I can make a 10% discount work.
Usually what I end up doing is I'll say like, hey, like we, well, it just depends. Like the guys that are really worried about it, I'll say, hey, like what if we just, and okay, I'll also give you some context because like, you have some, if we were when we're looking at this, this here on the screen, some of those leads that are red where they don't, where weren't able to contact them and maybe they got lost in the mix. Like if you have a list of leads, like even when we get off the call or whatever, I know that you're not really tracking them anywhere. So I know maybe Google might have that list for you actually, but you can like download that list and say, hey, these people I didn't close. So normally what I'll do is I'll actually text them and say, hey, do you want a quote? And I can give them the ballpark range for you. And then you go in person and give them the final quote. And then when you're in person, you'd be able to. So the only number that they would really know is like $5 to $8 for flake is like your low to high. And then when you actually get there, you can be like, and then what I was saying is that when I tell people like, hey, if you request I can try to help you get quotes from those people that are lost by saying, hey, you can get up to 10%. So you could be like, oh, I can only give 5% on that job, or oh, I can give you 10% because it's a big one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like to say on one end we give up to 1,000 off or up to 10,000 because it could be less, but up to that amount, but or just don't offer it too. That's another thing is like, my guy, I was telling you about that guy that does the $20 per square foot on the top. It's like, that's it. And he offers no discounts either. And part of that is because, yeah, one, he doesn't want to, but also it's like a luxury. When you sell metallics, if we did a campaign for metallics just for you, it's a different way of marketing and stuff. So like if you offer metallics and a discount, like what happens is you actually get all those people that are like, oh, I don't even really care about what it looks like. I just want it to be cheap. And it's like, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Basically, the discounts sometimes attracts people who are looking for discounts, basically, so sometimes it's not a good thing to have a discount. But if you want, like I said, with like leads that you've talked to and lost, sometimes it's good to kind of you can kind of talk to them again by offering the discount. So it's up to you. If you don't want to offer one, you could say, no, just don't even worry about it right now. Like later down the line, we can worry about discounts. So whatever is up, it depends on you. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you to offer discounts or not.
I mean, we can try. And if it works, I mean, I can make it work. I mean, I always give discounts, but if we can use a promo to get more clients, it's good for me. But whenever people tell me like it's all about the margins. If I have $1,000 margin and they want a $200 discount, it's okay. If I have like a $500, I'm not going down because I'm not gonna be able to do the same level of quality and everything if needed, because it's not about being cheap, but not about losing money either.
Right.
So I'm trying. I was gonna tell you on the metallics. You were saying, where's your client at?
Well, that guy that does the 20, he travels. He's
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because he's based in Kansas City, but like, yeah, when we first started working together,
San Jose?
no, in Kansas City. Oh, is his name Jose?
Yeah, Jose Diaz, no?
No, his name's Drake. Drake. Yeah, Drake McMillan. His company's name is Onyx Luxury Epoxy, and he's actually it. I don't post about it a lot right now, but I'm moving him out of Kansas because he doesn't really do jobs out of Kansas. That's kind of what I was saying. Is like he travels a lot more because of like it's hard to explain it, but in Kansas City, it's like a very old country kind of place,
Yeah.
and like there's just not a lot of people that like the floor, being like purple and white. Like, oh, they're like farmers,
That's what
so
it's getting into, and I'm gonna try to do this week. If I can this week, the next one for sure. I'm gonna try to do I was in Bali a couple weeks ago, and I saw this granite um bar table, and it was beautiful. I noticed the colors. I mean, I want to do like chocolate, almond, silver, more of the colors of Albuquerque, El Paso, more of
browns.
they can really use, because I mean, black and white looks really nice. You can like purple, whatever, but you have to have like an extravagant kind of person. But if I can promote something that works for the colors and everything of El Paso, I think it's easier to sell.
Yeah, that's what we did in Kansas. Like if he's he does do metallics out there, but it kind of ends up looking like leather. It's like brown, dark brown and black, or like dark brown and light brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I want something like that too.
yeah, still metallic, but it looks really cool. I like it a lot, but it's not as like how Don does his floors, where they're like a lot of color and they're like it's real kind of like crazy, like the waves are like all over the place and stuff. Like he kind of chills it out a little bit more. That guy that I'm talking about, Onyx. But yeah, same thing. I was just gonna tell you, I'm trying to get him to come out here to to Denver right now. We're just working on setting everything up, getting the LLC and all that set up. But basically, I'm gonna do all of the system and the sales and marketing and stuff for him here local, and have him install locally with me. So it'll be me and him. I'm gonna try and record that stuff and post it for you guys, so you guys can see what it looks like with me, like actually working hands-on with an installer, with what I do with you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, random stuff, just cool stuff that's on the way. But yeah, it's always there's a lot that goes into all of this stuff. But once you kind of get all of this locked down and the system in place, then you can start to find out like, hey, my marketing is doing this, like people are saying this, X, Y, and Z. And you start to be able to really change and shape the business to work in your market a lot better once you're tracking everything. So yeah, I always tell guys, this is the first step. And then the next step is the ads. And then once you get all of that information and you're talking to a lot of people, then you can start to make these other decisions of like, what kind of products am I going to offer? You can get better at your pricing. You might raise your margins. You might have to come down a little bit. Some guys like, that guy with the $20 per square foot, that's really high. And sometimes I have to fight with him about like, would you do it for $19? He's like, no. I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, he would actually probably make more money if he lowered his prices, like he really would. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and he, again, I just report this stuff to you guys when I see it. I'm like, hey, bro, 10 of your last leads said it was too much. So, you do with that what you want to do. But yeah, that's what that looks like in the long run, man. I start telling you what people are telling me. I track all of that stuff. Like if a lead comes in and they're like, oh, I went with the cheaper competitor, I track that. And then I tell you, hey man, like you've got a lot of people saying that they're going to competitors. You might want to find out like, why are they offering a different warranty? Is it a different, are they undercutting you like crazy? You know what I'm saying? So,
As I told you, I only have this guy, and I think he already left town. It's gonna be the Jake Epoxy. I could say his Instagram, but I mean he already got burned because I mean the prices he was charging, he wasn't able to do a good job and no warranty and stuff like that. Which I mean, yeah, a lot of people do that, make some money, and just go to another city.
dude, it's
The
terrible.
only company that is my competition right now, and which I want to go against them, let's say, it's gonna be Goitia Enterprises, and they're a big company. I mean, they make good money.
How do you spell their name?
Goitia, Goytia. But something that I have on my side is one of my best friends. He owns probably the biggest company of epoxy in San Antonio.
Okay.
Just one T, yeah. He does everything. He does metallics, polish. He's working a lot on. He has this contract, these huge contracts.
You said San Antonio?
Yeah.
What's their name?
It's top coat epoxy. I think it's called something.
Okay. Top Coat. I don't know if I've ever heard Top Coat.
He's big. He just bought like a $2 million house. Like
Dude, Texas is crazy, bro. Like I was living in Houston up until May. So that's where I was at the last like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, dude, Houston's huge. And then I have a guy in Dallas, and dude, he is insane. Like how much there's so much work in Dallas. And then to hear you say that about him in San Antonio, and then there's Austin too. I'm like, bro, like there's just so much money and so much people out there. It's crazy to think about.
Oh, this guy, and he told me last time because I was telling him like, no, people call me and they're like, no, this guy is cheaper. Make it easier for you. He told me just tell them we're not the right company for you. You're looking for cheap stuff. I mean, we're not the right company. Thank you.
Dude, that happens to me too, man. Like, and I can tell you about just even like epoxy contractors that want my help, and they'll hit me up. And that's a lot of the time, not all of the time, but there's guys that like don't know what I do and they think I just do marketing. And then they hit me up and they're like, how much do you charge? And I ask them, I'm like, look, dude, Is all that you care about like the price? Because I can promise you one, yeah, I'm not the cheapest person, but like it's also it's like because I'm not just trying to give you anything. Like, do you care about it being cheap or do you want the right thing? You remember you were saying at the beginning, like the people they don't really care. They just have a problem and they want the solution, right? That's what I that's how these guys are too. Like they know that they need my help, but when they come in and they're like, well, how much do you charge? I'm like, bro, like, is that all that you care about? Because if it is, here, go to one of my homies because they're gonna charge you like half of what I do, but it's not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. It's just, and that's my thing too. I say the same thing to you guys. Like sometimes, those customers that, yeah, even for Garage Flake, man, if they're like, oh, I thought it'd be cheaper than that, and you're at $5 per square foot, it's like, dude, hey, you just like you're probably looking for a DIY kit. Not a professional installer. So it's just a different ball game.
Yeah, it's crazy because you can get like, I mean, if you just, I want to do that too, actually. just sell preparation of the concrete, just the polish. I mean, just the 30 grade, 40 grade diamond with the machine.
Right.
I mean, I can get my guys to do it in about an hour. I can do that fast. And that goes for $2 per square foot all day. So
just start telling them, hey, if you want it that cheap, you might as well just have me grind it and then you can install it yourself.
I can sell you the material and everything. I mean, I can charge you $2, which is gonna be $800 for a two-car garage, and you can do everything. You're gonna fuck it up. I'm pretty sure you're gonna, but it's your problem,
Dude, I think that you should say that to somebody and see what happens, man. If that's so funny to be like, hey, I could come in for $1 or $2 per square foot and let you just do it.
Let's see how it goes, right?
And it's funny because like you said, I mean, like even that's what I'm saying. We're talking about it. You're still saying that even doing that would be better than going with those guys that don't do the prep right. They're like, some guys are just doing the acid sketch and like,
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, even if you just had me come in and grind it and you did the kit, that probably worked better. Like, you want to do that? Or do you just want to pay the good guy to come in? My price is to do, you know what I'm saying? And dude, I know it's funny sometimes, but like I say, I tell guys all the time, it's like, dude, when I was looking for places to move, like people would ask me what I do, and I'm like, oh, I do sales and stuff for epoxy guys, and people are like, what's that? I'm like, well, like I don't know how to explain it, man. If you don't know, I'm not the epoxy guy, so I don't know how to explain it like that to somebody that doesn't know the full stuff. I'm like, dude, it's like, how it looks like marble. I'm like, these guys come in and they make it look like marble, but it's plastic. It's sick stuff, but they don't know. They have no clue. And it's the same thing with, if somebody sees a metallic floor and they're like, damn, that looks sick. Well, they don't know the difference between the kit, the Jake and
Yeah.
They just don't know the difference. And so you have to tell them, you're like, hey, and that's kind of what we were talking about. I was telling you, like, you got to figure out a way to do it professional. The most professional way for you to do that is to say, hey, I could come in and grind it. You're going to get a better floor at that point. You only pay this much, but you do it and you're probably going to mess it up. And that's how you tell them, hey, I do the best work without saying I do the best work. You know what I'm saying? And that, bro, that'll probably get you to close a lot of those metallic guys, or just jobs in general, That's what I'm saying, just jobs in general. But a lot of the times, yeah, especially with the metallic guys, nobody knows what the hell's going on.
For sure. Bro, I want to tell you too, I do want to focus a lot on not just metallics, not just those kind of jobs. I do want to get commercial ones.
Yeah, the urethane, whenever I that's something we can talk about real quick, but I know that when I turn on Google ads, those urethane cement jobs those will come through a lot. It happens to every single one of my guys. So are you able to do the urethane? You just don't do it a lot right now?
Do what? Sorry.
The urethane cement.
Oh, okay. No, but I mean, not a lot of people ask for it. but we can do it. But what they mostly ask for is gonna be polished concrete.
Well, your commercials are a lot of polish.
Yeah, polished.
Okay.
That's what they are looking for warehouses, for I don't know, not new constructions, but like old constructions. They want to leave the age on the concrete, but looks good, you know. So they want details, they want defects, they want stuff like that, but they want it to be nice.
Dude, polishing is really good for ads, and for SEO because people are actually searching for it. And I that's why I ask every single one of you guys, I ask if you do polishing because, bro, I'm sure not only are there more people searching for it, like they actually, polishing is just a common thing compared to flake and metallic. So there's a lot of people searching for it, but your margins are also better on it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do especially when we do Google. It's easier once I have Google ads. Once we have that set up, it's kind of easier for me to kind of go out and find jobs, like polishing jobs for you. So, but same thing, like metallics come through, flake comes through Google, but the commercial jobs also come through from the Google ads too. So Google is really strong and really, really good. So that's next up. We can definitely, and just so you know, like the system itself, this is going to plug in mostly, since you're only running LSA ads, it's going to plug into there, and then I'll be able to plug into the website for you, obviously. But then for me to like get you jobs and find you jobs, that's where we'll run into the ads. And once we set that up, I can sort of like I said, find the jobs for you and be like, yeah, hey, I want a bunch of polishing jobs this month. Okay, I'll set up the Google ad for that, and then you'll get the polishing jobs coming in. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do try to find out just what you offer, so that way I can ultimately, so that way I can give the ballpark ranges for you. Just so I don't know if you can tell that that's what's going on, but that is the next part that I'll show you when we get on our next call. I'll show you how that works. So that way, like I said, I can just send the ballpark out for you, but I need to know, if you offer polishing, I want to be able to give people the option to request a ballpark rate estimate for the polishing. If I don't put it on there, nobody can make the request. You know what I'm saying? So,
We can do it, but the problem with polishing is that it can be $2 per square foot polish, or it can be a $12 one, because of how many grids you're gonna do, or on what material do you want to use to seal it. Do you want to use densifier or not? Do you need to fix any cracks? Do you need to do an underlayment? Those I prefer, depending on the square footage. But if it's over 1,000, I have to go to check it out in person.
right, to get them an actual quote.
Yeah, options, because a lot of people think that you can just polish it and you're gonna get like the aggregate on the floor, on the concrete, and no, it takes a lot of passes, a lot of time just to get the aggregate, and then you have to go up and grid. So yeah, you gotta explain that, and you gotta I always give them the cheapest option, the easiest for us. And if they go for that, I'm happy, because we get in and out in about a day and make a couple thousands, and we're good. But
What about your stains? What's the range on your stain?
it's about $3 per square foot. But again, if it's all about the concrete,
Right, the condition.
yeah, the condition of the concrete, because and that I have to explain to each client, and they have to send pictures and everything, because the stain doesn't do anything. It just changes the color. So we're gonna have a horrible concrete just painted, it's just a stain. So yeah, it doesn't really work most of the time. But it's all about each lead, how to handle it, because sometimes they don't know about the possibility of just putting like an epoxy coat on it. I'm doing that too right now. I'm working on it we are doing the polished concrete. Then we seal it with epoxy. And then we cut the epoxy out. So you have like this flat concrete with all the imperfections already sealed with the epoxy,
Wow.
you know?
So
So it's nice because you're gonna still notice all the cracks, everything, but they're gonna be filled with the epoxy. And then we do the stain. But again, that's another level of a job, but that's not gonna be $2 per square foot for sure.
right. Just too much work.
You have a bad concrete, you have a really soft concrete. We gotta use densifier. Densifier, just the bucket, it's gonna be $500, and we may need to use, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 buckets. That's $3K, just on making the concrete a little bit harder. So yeah, that's another beast.
Right, right. Yeah, I know that it can be specific towards, yeah, especially the concrete. I've always seen that, like, people think that, even in a garage, they're like, oh, you can just come coat it and it's all cracked everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, no, we can't do anything with this. You need new concrete. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes it's funny what people think that you can do for you. When I see it, I'm like, damn, yeah, man, that concrete was messed up. I was just looking. I just want to make sure. Did you get to submit that? There should be like another button here at the bottom to hit, and it should say submit if you did the discounts. And everything.
Do you offer any limited discounts? I'm gonna put yes. And yes, what should we highlight? I always do 10% for military.
Okay, I can. That one's good to have just off rip.
And remember, we have Fort Bliss here, so here.
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
Uh, yeah, 10% military. I always can do it, even if I don't make money. But those are good plans. I don't know, metallics. On metallics, I mean, if we're doing $10 per square foot, it's easy to do a $500 discount.
Okay.
I just don't want the tire kickers, the people that are, yeah, but you're gonna filter those out. So
Right.
it's military disc. I don't know if you want to do like senior discount or whatever you want to do.
I think even just having like a like where if you did the 500 for 500 off of a metallic job, the only problem I usually see with that is that you just want to make sure that it's a big enough job to where it's not messing you up. But
you can't because let's say on a garage, I mean, it has to be specified. Let's say for a 400 square feet garage. I mean, I normally have to get $8 with discounts and everything and commissions and stuff like that. I have to be over $8. If I'm below that, I cannot do a good job because I'll have to go cheap on how much material I'm gonna use, stuff like that.
right.
So if we are doing $10 per square foot, I mean, I still have $2 to play with.
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, if you know that you're gonna be doing the $500 off and people are like gonna say that, then I would say then make sure that you're at least sticking to the 10. So no matter what, you're kind of in the clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So and then the military discount, like that, like you were saying, it's always good just to have that one. People still see the discount, but then like you said, yeah, in an area with a lot of military, it probably do good. So yeah, man, I can and like I said, I can always I try to look at things and I'll let you know if I think that you should do a discount or not too. So I try really hard to not have you guys discount stuff either. I want you guys to make your margins and whatnot. So
Cool. Yeah, I know. I hired another agency a while ago, and it went very bad. But they just do it. They put 500 off and just send a lot of ads. And yeah, I mean,
yeah, that like I told you, it usually ends up biting you in the butt, man. Like if you do an ad and you're saying discounts, then you're gonna get the people who want discounts, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to stay away from it, but there's times it's just good to know if you guys offer it and if you want me to too. So but yeah, as soon as you submit that, once you submit that, I have all of the information I need to set up everything, man. I've got extra information actually, which is good. Like your competitor, I can I'll show you some stuff, but I'll pull up some information so we can look at them and see what we need to do from there too. So
We're not big as them. I mean, they're huge, but I mean, it's the. I mean, we're competing on estimates. We're competing on the level of quality jobs and everything. I mean, we've done over. I mean, jobs on over 10,000 square feet. You know,
right.
normally a small company can do it just because of the investment they have to put in. Even if you get a percentage to start, you still have to put out, I don't know, 20, 30K. And most of the companies in El Paso just pass on that because of the amount of the job. We don't.
Right, right. They just can't invest in getting the job.
Exactly. Or they ask for a lot of money to start. And most of the time, that contractors um or builders or whatever, I mean, they put a lot of money on everything. They gotta finish everything. So they tell you, I mean, I need a net 60 on it. I'll hire you, but I need a net 60, which works for us. We work on that too, just to let you know.
Okay, that's good. You guys, you on net 60?
Net 30, net 60. I try to avoid net 60 on big jobs, but net it's easy.
It just takes too long.
Oh yeah, too much. It's
Awesome, bro. Well, based on everything, do you have any questions for me about the process or what I'm going to set up or the next steps?
no, I just wanted to ask you, is the number that I have your personal one or the business? Because I always get like these automated messages. Um, Joe,
That one's my business phone number. I'm gonna take you off of those automations if you're on any. But yeah, here I'm gonna text you my personal.
thank you. Yeah, just so I can text you or whatever if needed. And
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
like.
mostly with Martel, so I'm gonna introduce him to you soon.
Okay, okay, definitely. Probably when we do our next call, either uh I would say either Friday, but it sounds like Monday might be better for you. So I would say if anything, if not Friday, Monday, we can meet and I'll have like I'll be able to show you more of like how Martel's stuff would like play a role. So then probably after that, it would be best for you to be like, hey, this is Jesse. He might text you a few things here and there, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's gonna be dude, this is gonna be real cool between me, you, and him. We'll be able to, get the leads in, close them, sell them, get reviews, all of that. It'll be a good team effort. I'm excited for that. So
Me too.
awesome, man. Well, yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I would just say I'll follow up with you over the next like day or two if anything comes up on my end. If we miss something and I'm like, hey, what about this? That I'll do that over the next day or two, and then I'll follow up with you and let you know by Friday, but probably way before that. What is it? Yeah, probably by Wednesday, I'll let you know, hey, let's book that call for Monday, or if you're like, yeah, let's just do it Friday or whatever. So by Friday, I'll follow up with you and get you, get us set up for that last call essentially before everything goes live and launches.
If
So
anything from me, you can just text me or call me if it's something fast or anything. I mean, don't worry. I always answer my phone.
okay, perfect. Same here too, man. I'm available for you guys. Like like I said, I know you're not in the system, but if something's happening, you can always text me or call me. I'm pretty available for you guys. So but yeah, man, that sounds good. Thank you for meeting with me, man. And like I said, I'll keep in touch with you over the next like 2 or 3 days for the rest of the setup, and then we'll get you launched by next week, and then we'll go from there, man.
Sounds good.
Awesome, boss. You have a good trip, and be safe out there.
Thank you. Appreciate
Of
it.
course. Take care, boss.
Bye. Thank you too.